Hey everybody. So last episode, I talked about how one AI prompt helped me take back my mornings, but one good morning doesn't make a good week, right? So what really changed things was when I started doing it the night before. Not journaling, not venting, not Sunday scaries where you're just freaking out about what could go wrong tomorrow. But by sitting down at my laptop and giving ChatGPT a full daily debrief of today and then asking it to help me build tomorrow. So it wasn't just a reflection, right? I think there is some value in that and just getting things out of your head. But I was assigning every minute a job. I just finished Deep Work by Cal Newport, and that's one of the things he talks about is assign every minute a job, right? And that way you're not falling into procrastination, idle hands. Oh, I got time to check Instagram, right? Not that I don't do that on occasion still, but the whole idea is I should have something to do. I should have a compass with a true north. If I find myself idle, I can check my schedule and see what I'm supposed to be doing. Hey, am I ahead on time? Great, you earned it. Am I behind? Do I need to move things around? I have access to all of that with a full blown daily schedule. And when that happened, I stopped guessing what tomorrow should look like. I knew. And because the system knew me, because I had trained it with the context, constraints, and clarity of all of my prior conversations. So that's what we want to talk about today. So if this is your first time tuning in, I'm Brian. This is the podcast that changed things. Be sure to check us out on Substack. That is where the majority of the written content, as well as a hosted podcast recording, is all going to be listed there. So, as far as this episode goes, we talked a little bit last time about winning back my morning, right? By building a schedule for the part of time before my corporate workday starts. So you'll be shocked to hear this. I had the same problem with my regular workday that I had with my personal morning, right? I still felt scattered by the end of the day. My calendar was full, and I think we all probably do that to one degree or another, right? We mistake busyness for effectiveness and or progress, right? And I needed a way to close the loop each day and get ahead on the next one. The recurring theme here is I'm always on the back foot, and I have to figure out how to change that. And that's what I did with this prompt, right? So my conversations about my morning, and for those that haven't listened, I'd recommend going back to episode 1, and they're like 10 minutes. Quick episodes is what I'm looking for here. What I did was I asked ChatGPT for help to organize my morning, right? All we're doing today is extending that same premise and evolving it to not just, a quick 3-4 hour period, but to the entire day, right? And so I think when we think about prompts, a lot of the time we think about like this one sentence structure. And that's not what this is, right? I'm going to read this out. It might take a moment, and I'm going to include it or link to it in the show notes. You'll be able to find the full prompt on Substack. But basically, what I did is I broke it up into 2 parts. I have a daily debrief, right? So what actually got done today? This is where I can list out some accomplishments. Take a moment to reflect and say, hey, these were the big things that got done today. What did I partially get done? And then what got blocked today, right? I'm really not sure what I'm going to do with that data because I'm not capturing it anywhere else. So it's more just in the moment to try and assess my performance for the day. What I'm really interested in is the second half of the prompt, which is tomorrow's prep, right? So what are the fixed calendar events tomorrow? Do you include the gym there, right? I try and focus this more on like work events, right? If I have client meetings at certain times, if I have a one-on-one with my leader, that's the kind of thing that I'm putting into the fixed calendar events with the time durations, okay? And then I've got top 1 to 3 priorities. This is for Brian, right? This isn't just for his job. This is what are the things that Brian needs to get done tomorrow. I list them out. And if I will try to add additional context where I can, like how long I need to spend thinking about this podcast episode. Do I need to get an email back over to that contact, right? I'm listing those things out. And then I have admin follow-up. So these are additional tasks, but not my top 1 to 3 priorities, right? So what else do I need to get done? Do I need to take the trash out? Could it be that simple, right? Do I need to buy a roof rack for the van, right? I'll put those things on there. Workout plan, right? I'll actually list out what I need to get done for a workout. whether it's gym or cardio or yoga or whatever, anticipated duration of time. Meals. Do I have any notes I want to write about my meals for tomorrow? Be aware of lunch. You have a client meeting from 12 to 1, right? Little gotchas like that. Then I have family personal obligations. So do I have a kid that's got to go to summer camp tomorrow at 9 a.m.? Do I need to pick that kid up at noon or 5? Does someone have, if it's outside of summer, does someone have practice in the evening or an after school event? Did I tell my wife that I was going to go pick something up from the store after work, right? Those are all things I would list in that section. And then energy constraints, mental state is the last one, right? So how do you feel? Do you feel burnt out? Do you feel like you haven't slept well the past couple nights? I'm not really sure what that gets you, but I'm incorporating it in there to provide additional context. And I put all of this together. So again, I have a template. Right now I just have it saved in Microsoft Word where it has all of these bullet points with subsections. And so I go in and I fill it out and then I copy and paste it into my daily planner chat with ChatGPT. And it spits out schedules, right? It spits out bullet point schedules that have my time from 5:15 all the way down to 10 p.m., right? And I print them out every day. I have a folder on my computer that's called Daily Journal, and it saves it every day with the date. So I download it out of ChatGPT into this folder. So if you wanted to, you actually have this archive of your activity day over day, okay? And so I print it out and I put it on my desk, and when the time period's done, I'm either drawing a line through it because I completed the tasks, or I might circle a piece of it if I didn't finish it in that time period. So then I'm starting to manage my day based off of this piece of paper. A couple times I'll actually get on my phone on the mobile app and I'll say, woke up late today. I got to figure out where to squeeze the gym in based on this calendar that already exists. And ChatGPT moves everything around and finds a way to do that, right? Sometimes it removes something that I have to do, but typically it works around those anchor points like calendar events, right? So it's been super helpful, again, as a compass, right? I still have to go execute, but I've always known all of these things need to get done, but it's just in this overwhelming echo chamber in my mind, right? And I spend more time stressing about it and trying to remember everything. And, I used to have tons of paper everywhere because I'd write 7 different to-do lists. Well, now I work off of this. And if I get ahead, I may just try and keep pulling more time forward and stay ahead. I may take a moment and go to Starbucks and surprise my wife with a coffee because I had time to go do that in the afternoon. But at the end of the day, it's just providing more structure so I know how to move from one thing to the next. It's almost like an external constraint, right? For some reason, for me mentally, having ChatGPT spit it back out to me works better than me just writing my own list. That probably says more about me than the success of this, but it works for me. And so I wanted to share that with everyone because I think that it could be valuable for you too. So again, we rack and stack these, right? So what started out as me just trying to take advantage of my morning, take control of my morning. Now I do it for the entire day. And then I'm also going to bed knowing what I need to do tomorrow and having a pretty good idea of when I need certain things to happen, how I need to prepare, and making sure that I'm ready to go for each and every single segment on that day. So I really started to trust my process. I've been doing this for about a month now. It's been very helpful. I don't feel overcommitted, and I would say I'm probably busier now than I've ever been in my life because I have a couple different projects I'm trying to get off the ground. This has really helped me stay sane and organized and realistic, right? So, little things that you don't realize you need to schedule for. Okay, well, taking a kid to camp. Okay, camp starts at 9. At first, I just put that in there. And then I realized that it only blocked, 9 to 9:30, right? Well, okay, it's a 15-minute commute to get to camp. So I started including that. If it's not a virtual meeting with a customer, if it's something that's in person, when I'm logging it, I'm also attributing the travel time on each side. I'll put that in parentheses after the the time of the actual event. And so this continues to evolve and iterate, but you start to really figure out like, oh, how much time do I have? And it really made me focus on like, what's my bedtime? In trying to create some consistency there. So it's actually minimized my stress and maximized my output, right? So again, this wasn't like a woo-woo thing where I needed to just find a way to appreciate what I've done. It was more a way of like, hey, look, no, I'm really good at pressing the pedal to the floor, but sometimes I don't know where the racetrack is, right? And so this is putting those guardrails in place so that I can just focus on going fast and going hard. Um, so, that's what I wanted to draw everyone's attention to. And again, recurring theme, right? This wasn't a silver bullet one-liner. It's something that I had to work through and iterate on with the LLM, in this case, ChatGPT. I haven't really spent any time with Gemini or Perplexity or Claude or any of these others. It's on my to-do list, which continues to grow. But I really wanted to share this with you because I think it could be valuable, right? So if you're ending your day with guilt and guessing and anxiety, steal this prompt. It takes 5 minutes, maybe 10 the first time you do it, and it'll change how your tomorrow feels, right? So I'll make sure that I include the full prompt so you can just copy and paste it. That'll be available on Substack, and I'm trying to figure out how to use Instagram. I'm a long-time viewer, first-time content creator, so that may take more time. You can find everything on Substack. That's probably the main place. So episode 3, we're going to try and do one of these a week. I'm not sure the topic's going to be yet. We may continue to pull on this thread, or maybe I will shift gears. But either way, thanks for hanging out with me here for a couple minutes. Again, this was Brian, and the name of the podcast is That Changed Things. And look forward to talking to you again soon. Bye-bye.